Okay, I'm gonna try to think of a way to explain the not so smart shit that I've been doing for the last 4 months in our reselling business. Um, let's say this. Let's say today is Sunday, and you are going to want tacos on Taco Tuesday. Why not, right? Who doesn't love a good Taco Tuesday? So being a responsible adult, you decide that you're going to go to the grocery store today to get the things to be prepared for Taco Tuesday. So you do that. You go to your local grocery store, you get all the accoutrement that you may need to make the best tacos of your life. I'm talking your corn tortillas, because obviously, ground beef, fish, chicken, whatever you want in your tacos, fresh veggies, your cheese. Let's just say it comes out to about $50 because it comes out to about $50. Fast forward to Tuesday. You then proceed to make some of the best tacos that you've ever made in your life. You may be eating with, your husband, your wife, your partner, or you just invite some friends over. Let's go with the friends model. You invite friends over, your friends eat. Everybody agrees these are probably the best tacos we've ever eaten, right? So one of your friends says, "Hey, how much did it cost to make these tacos?" And you look at your friend and you say, "Nothing. I didn't spend any money today," because that's girl math, also known as cash accounting. Also, what the hell I've been doing for 4 months and miscalculating my profits because the software the software wasn't set up right, and it was my fault. I will get further into it. Kind of embarrassed to admit it. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I don't want to beat myself up too much over it. And I am glad that I called it early on rather than much, much later. But it still sucks. Like, it still really sucks. I'm going to show you how much here soon. I'm trying to switch to my intro scene's not coming up. Once again, this is not I don't have a script. I thought I was going to have a cool way to transition this into the next thing, but I actually don't. So I don't know. Let's get into some what sold. Let's get into how July ended up playing out and why I'm really, really, really kicking myself right now. All right. So like I was saying, I want to be clear about something. I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to act like we had a terrible month or anything like that. It's just once I went through all the data and then realized the mistake I made, it really, it really annoyed me because we actually missed our goal by just a little bit. I believe $49. But to go a little bit deeper into that quickly, because I want to get through a lot of what sold. It's not everything that sold. I kind of handpicked some things here to try to get a good variety. I just don't want, I know personally, I watch a lot of the videos and I get out of it a lot of cool finds. There are things that maybe I've passed up on. So I do know that the value for most of you is going to be in the what sold. If you want to fast forward a little bit, trust me, it's not going to hurt my feelings, but I do want to explain kind of what happened and then do a brief recap of July and maybe talk about August's goals as well. So I switched to accrual finally once I realized what was going on with the cash model. So under the cash model, when we go to list an item, we will still put in the cost of goods with that listing. So the data's there. It's not like I'm missing all this data, but in a cash accruing system or a cash accounting system, it won't take the cost of goods out when it sells. It'll still show you what your cost of goods in Nifty is, but it doesn't take it out of the calculation. When you switch it to accrual, when it sells is when it takes it out of the calculation, which for me makes the most sense, simply because every item in our system or in our store, in our inventory, does have cost of goods attached to it. So I know exactly how profitable this item is. Under the cash model, I would have had to also, I still could have put it as, cost of goods like we did, but what I would have also had to go and then manually put in an expense for say $70 if that's what that bin's haul cost. And then it would take that out immediately for the month of July, because that's people don't care about this. I understand that it goes deep into it. That stuff's kind of important to me. We had a goal of $2,000 in profit for the month of July, and we thought we hit it early. But again, this is why verifying your data and making sure that everything is as you expect it is kind of important. So our gross volume for July was 3,329. We did have a net profit of 1,951, and I'm not complaining about that. I do want to be clear. We had 131 orders in July. That was up as well. And then we did list 312 items. Our goal was 300 for July. So our true profit per order was about $14.49, which I really, really want to focus on getting up in August. Average sale price of $22.83. Again, I do want that to go up. That's one of my goals, and I think I made a few tweaks to help it get there. Item margin, 62%. We did add a few percentage points in that category month over month compared to June. So I'm not upset with that at all. So if you look at our lifetime here, since about April 1st, which is really when we started this business, to July 31st, we have grossed $8,335. The net is $4,952. True profit $4,667. Our lifetime average sales price is $21. Lifetime profit per order $12.89. That alone, so we started, like I think most people do, just listing a bunch of things that we had around the house, including a lot of our kids' clothes, which were listed for cheap and we sold for cheap. So I do think it's going to take some time for us to climb out of that lifetime average sales price and lifetime profit, just to get away from those. Like we've since got away from kids' clothes, but it's going to take some time, I think, for the numbers to reflect that. But that's going to be my goal probably over the next couple months, is trying to raise those two averages. I do feel like I've been a little nonchalant in this business. Now, as you guys may or may not know, I don't know, my wife does this full time. I have a full-time corporate job that takes a lot of my time. Like last week was super busy. That's why I didn't get a second video out. My ultimate goal is to leave that and just do this with her. I really enjoy doing this, and I'm starting to realize you can't half-step shit. Like, it just doesn't work like that. So I feel like maybe I have held us back. As you can see here, so our July profit, it was the only goal that we missed. We set the goal for $2,000. We barely missed it. Again, if not due for the accounting error, I would be sitting here celebrating today that we hit it and cleared it, but we did not. We did clear our sales volume goal and our listings goal. At the time it was 300. So which was like 10 items a day. We ended up doing 312. So I'm good with that. I just feel like maybe I've been like too casual, too nonchalant about the business. Like, yeah, I'm just helping my wife do this thing. And I'm starting to feel like maybe it'll never get to that next level unless I shift my focus into full time here mentally, because I do spend a lot of hours in this with her, but like I'm still not full time here. And I really need to do that just so we can get to where we need to be, because we've got some pretty lofty August goals. And it's going to take a full-time effort for that to even be possible. So yeah, wrapping up July, I'm not upset by any means. Trust me. If I do sound down, it's just because the error, I feel so stupid. I'm such a data guy too. And so like making that mistake really did bother me. I think if it was still over 2,000 and we still hit the goal, I wouldn't be so hard on myself, but it did, like, it's like the details were the difference between a win or a loss. And I feel like that is solely on me for not paying enough attention and not, really, really giving this all that I could give it. So I'm going to take that one on the chin. Let's talk about August. We're going all in August, and I'm not, again, this is not advice on how you should run your resale business. This is just recollection or documentation on how we're running ours. And we have a couple of things in our favor when it gets to some of these goals and things like that I will explain. Let's start with our profit goal. I know we missed last month. I do not care. Our goal this month is going to be $3,000 in profit. And I do believe that we now have a formula to get there. Good counting, good math works. That goes a long way. But some other things here that, we're going to tweak going into this. I would like to hit 175 sales this month. Now, in the sales, I want to be honest about something. Just the sales aren't enough. Like, I have to raise the average sale price. I think it's going to in itself. So early on in the summer, we sourced a lot of fall stuff, sweatshirts, hoodies. Those are starting to sell and they have a higher average sale price and profit for us because we still got those at the bins. So our cost of goods into it is $1.50, something like that. So I am confident that some of that will take place just naturally, but I'm going to change up our sourcing schedule a little bit since I am now coming full time into this with her. I can take on more of a production role, if that makes sense. And I hope that I'll be able to drive the gaps that are missing to get to the goals that we want. So 175 sales. We've started off August pretty strong. It's the 4th. I'm recording this on the 4th. And honestly, I can't really complain where sales are at. 620 listings, and it comes out to 20 listings a day. That is double what we did last month. I know that is a lot of listings. I know. Here's the thing. This is where I will tell others to caution a little bit. We can get volume from our bins. We have 3 bins in the city we live in. We live in the Indianapolis area. So like we can get volume. My wife made a bins trip today, came back with 60 items. You know what I mean? I think her average cost was like $1.33 per item. So all I'll say is really, really think about your situation when you look at the numbers that we're trying to do. We can get a lot of inventory for cheaper than some people, and I'm aware of that. We also have space to store stuff. So like we're not going to run into a space issue anytime soon. So yeah, listing 20 items a day, that is going to be our goal this month. We will see where the chips may fall, but not just listing the 20 items a day. I am really, really focusing on improving our average sale price, getting our profit per item up there, and getting some higher value stuff into the store. We've got some good stuff now that's higher value, but like I want to really boost that percentage up. I am implementing a sourcing schedule for myself and my wife. See, in my corporate job, like I'm in upper leadership, so I can just dictate things and they happen, right? Sometimes like I have to tell myself this is my wife that I am working with, and I can't just say that. But some of that corporate came out when I was like, hey, I am initiating a new sourcing schedule. This is what that will be. She will have to follow it. Although she, I guess she could say no. But this is the only way we're going to get to where we need to. I'm adding some work and some productivity to myself. So I will be sourcing in our local Goodwills, which is near our house and my office where I work at. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, I'm going to be going after work, trying to find some of those, higher ASP items. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are going to be bins. She's going to go for the bulk, just the same way that we have been. Like we still actually find some pretty good higher average sale price stuff in our bins, but mainly we're going for bulk. That is what's going to continue to allow us to constantly have inventory to meet that goal of 620 listings. This is also going to serve as like my best method to manually raise the average sale price for us is going and like spending more time sourcing quality items, a higher price items. So that's what the plan is going to be. I don't think you guys care about a lot of these charts. Here's some charts. If you want to see, like, I like to see how the month went for July. Just, I look back during August and I'll be able to tell, like, oh, is there any, trends in the graphs I can see. So we started off slow in July. Second week it picked up. Third week it died again. We only had 20 orders. And then something happened July 20th through the 26th. The 20th was my birthday, actually. And we had 45 orders that week. That week pretty much is what kind of saved the month for us. Then it dropped back down to an average 23 orders. Yeah, I think that I don't know what it was about that week. I wish we could just continue to replicate that. I do think we will eventually, just that will be the norm, or at least that's the hope. But for now, it's just data for data's sake. A year from now, it's going to be actually pretty valuable data if you think about it. Cumulative true profit report. So what this is just since day one, kind of tracking through the months where our total profit has crept up to. So 500 or so is where we finished April at. Finished May at about 1,430. Finished June at 2,768 in profit. And then we were able to finish July at 4,666. Again, I just like to keep track of a lot of that going through it. Again, it's early, so like the data is just data, but this is going to be really valuable going forward. I do hope that my wife understands why I go through this much data too, just because we'll be able to better predict trends and things like that. Now, one thing you won't hear me do is I won't come on here and complain about sales being slow, just because that's just not my style. But I will point out trends. So if things are trending below where they should, I will mention that. But excuse me, just know I'm not complaining at all. I've got these marketplace report cards. So eBay is king for us. Poshmark has its weeks where it shows up and, challenges eBay, but eBay is still king for us. Depop is the one I really, really wish would get a little higher just because of the fee structure over there. Today, actually, we've had like 3 different Depop sales. So I'm hoping that maybe Depop is waking up. I do have some in the what sold section that I'm going to show that I think, actually, we'll go there now. Let's go to what sold. I'll start with our Depop ones. I do kind of feel like maybe Depop is a little more, it's style dependent. And we've been picking up more styles that would match the Depop audience. When I say that, y'all know we mean them kids, right? They're young over there. Although we did sell a vintage grandma looking jacket over there. So this jacket my wife picked up at the bins. Excellent pickup. When she brought this one home, like I remember I was like, ooh, it was probably a month ago at this point. It was listed 15 days ago. So 15 days ago, 2 weeks ago. And I thought this would be a same day sale because we do get a lot of those when the items are, when me and her both agree like, oh, that's really, really nice. It's usually a same day sale, but it sat for 15 days, eventually sold. $58 is what we listed this at. So great pickup by her. These are the types of items that I want to continue to sell through the fall and the winter. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that comes to fruition. I don't know. Next is a Charlotte Russe women's cream and purple cardigan. And this one is not, I don't think I don't know. Depop titles its own things. Like you just kind of give it the description and they're weird sometimes. Either way, this is some more grandma core. I told you guys last week, that's becoming our thing. These items sell. This one here sold for $25.50. It was listed about 20 days. So another one of those bins pickups that my wife had. Glad to see it go out the door. I do think the seasons are starting to shift a little bit, and that is very beneficial for us. Old Navy, just Roam the Unknown t-shirt. This was picked up, I want to say, at the local Goodwill. It was listed 6 days ago, but I'm pretty sure that was a relist because I think I picked this up well over a month ago. I mean, I thought the thing looked cool. You're not going to break the bank. I would have paid $2.99 for it. I sold it at $11.90. I'm not running a sale right now over there. And yeah, it's gone. It was in, it's gone. This does nothing to help my average sale price or my profit per item. So probably not the best thing there, but oh well, I'll take it. This men's t-shirt too, Wizard of Barge. I don't really know what the Wizard of Barge is, but the design was really, really cool. She got this at the bins. Sold it. It was listed 10 days ago. Out of there. Again, I do think I'm starting to kind of pick up on what the style and aesthetic is over on Depop to get sales over there. This one, she got this like at her last binge trip, and it's a Dutch Bros Coffee Always Stoked t-shirt. She first brought it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's just a work shirt. Like, I don't know much about if they just do like merch and things too, but it was listed for 3 days. Somebody bought it. Again, cool graphics. If you got a nice graphic on a tee, those usually will sell over on Depop. The next item was this Disney Princess Cinderella blouse. Yeah, sold for $26. This was that same binge trip. This was listed 11 days ago. We get a lot of Disney stuff in our bins as well, and I don't really understand why. We're not near Florida or anything like that, but we pick it up, pretty much not every time we see it, but for the most part, and we sell a lot of Disney stuff too. So that is something to look for. Next is going to be a Columbia Sportswear men's white shirt. I got this from the local Goodwill bin, or not from the bin, sorry, our local Goodwill. And I would have paid $4.99 for this here. Sold for $26. I'm a little surprised it sold on Depop because these are normally like my eBay sales. Like I've sold quite a few of these on eBay. But getting it on Depop, I'm not too upset with that. Speaking of eBay, let's go over and look at a few sales from eBay. We did sell this Nickelodeon Ninja Turtle jacket. I like this jacket. It's one of those kids items that was just like too good to pass up on. This is an incredible jacket. It was in excellent condition. Sold it. Happy that this is going to get out of our closet and like into the hands of someone that's going to use it. So really, really nice find there. She did find those at the bins as well. This Georgia Peaches shirt, we have had this shirt for a very long time. The beginning of very long for us is like beginning of summer. Really, it's only like 2 months. But I thought this shirt would sell quickly on Depop when we first listed it because it did get a lot of attention. It did finally sell, but it sold on eBay. So I'll take that. This 90s Dress Barn Novelty Cat Denim Vest Women's Whimsy Goth. What does that mean? Whimsy. I have no idea, but these are starting to become what you guys say as bread and butter for us. These 90s denim with the embroidery on it, we sell them every single week. My wife finds them at the bins when they're in good condition like this. I just know when she has another one. She got another something today similar to this. But they always sell for us. I really enjoy, giving a new life to some of these. Some of these stuff looks new when she gets it. Just really, really good pieces to pick up if you happen to find them when you're outsourcing. Because, whimsy goth grandmas, there's money in it. I mean, Tommy Bahama, let's go grandpa core. How about that? Tommy Bahama men's XL seafoam green 100% silk shirt. Now, when we first started reselling, I think I seen a Cougar's Corner video where he was like, he had sold like 3 Tommy Bahama shirts. I assumed all Tommy Bahama works and sells. Not so much. A lot of it does, but like, I'm learning that like the style and print matters a lot. We still do pick up most Tommy Bahama stuff. We've sold shorts. We've sold it all. This one, just a nice shirt. I would have got this over at the Goodwill or our local Goodwill. I think I paid $4.99 for it. Most of the shirts like this at our local Goodwill are $4.99. The details are beautiful in this one though. I love this shirt. I really do. Got it sold. $25. That's about what you're going to get for these types of Tommy Bahamas, unless you've got like some really, really good styles on them. There are some cool ones out there. I've seen people getting $50, $60, $70. I don't know exactly what those styles are yet. So I don't know. I $25 to me is a good price on that. We sold this Adidas Farm Rio tropical print jacket. She did get these from the bins. I don't recall how long it was listed, but not very long. I do know we had some offers the same day it did get listed. But somebody did pick this up, and I believe this ended up being an international sale as well. If you don't have international turned on eBay, please go do so. It's super duper easy. We send it to eBay. They handle the rest. But yeah, got this one out the door, $37.25, and they paid full price on this one. So this one will go a long way towards raising my average sale price and profit per, because I think the cost of goods during that haul was $1.33, maybe. This one, Broken Promises graphic hoodie. This is another one that I just loved the graphics on it. Got attention pretty much as soon as we listed it. This was in the same bins haul as that last jacket you've seen here. $26. I thought it did have a little hole in it there. We pointed out, always point your flaws out. We try to like put a box around it or a circle if possible. I want to say it had a few more. Yep. Couple bleach spots here. But again, I thought this would sell on Depop, if I'm being honest. It moved on eBay. So I guess you just never really know. These Vans shorts. So my wife, it was so long ago, I don't remember which one of us picked this up at the bins. Had to have been in April though. Like, we have had these shorts pretty much all summer. And I was like, how come no one wants these? Great little pair of shorts. Finally, they sold. They sold on eBay. I'll take it. Would I pick up Vans shorts again? Probably not. Just because I think I've got a couple other Vans items that, like, I don't know. Maybe my pricing is off or something and it's just not selling. But, you know, it is what it is. We had these for at minimum 90 days, probably. This is a vintage ladybug knit sweater for a toddler. My wife got this at the bins as well. I thought she was going to keep this. But she ended up listing it. Sold. Full asking price on this one. This is the type of kids things that I'm okay with her buying. I'm okay with us carrying. And only because these are quality pieces. Vintage. You can't really get this. Like, this isn't, Sheen or anything like that. It's not fast fashion. I do love that we were able to, find something like this and get this to someone that's going to make some memories in it. Because I'm old and I got kids and I'm sentimental about stuff like that now. Nike White Sox MLB polo shirt. These, I'll be honest with you, I think it's because the White Sox are actually good this year. White Sox stuff is something that we are actively on the lookout for. Every single White Sox item we get sells. All of them. Always. And we, being as close to Chicago as we are, we do get a lot of Cubs and White Sox things. It sells for us. Now that could just be like baseball or, sports stuff in general. So I don't really know. But it's something to keep an eye out for, especially if you can get like the polos and things like that people can wear in the office, wear to the game, or on the golf course. Those go a long way. This one here, really nice. It's got the logos on the back, your Nike check here. Yeah, no, I love this shirt. There was another one that was similar to this that we sold probably about a month ago. It wasn't my size, or I probably would have kept this. I'm also not really a big fan of the White Sox, but I just think it looked cool. Next is the Y2K Christopher and Banks cardigan. Women's XL, cottage core, and grandma core. Whatever gets it sold. Again, this is something that my wife picks up on a weekly basis, and we sell them on a weekly basis. They do not take long. Do not hesitate to pick up fall and winter stuff now. I know it is August, but like, continue to just ramp up with that stuff. They're buying it now. Trust me. Let's move over to Poshmark. So we sold the Rails Roxy multi-lightning long sleeve button-up shirt. This is a shirt that I would have gotten back in May. I thought all Rails performed ridiculously, and it does not. We held it for much longer than I thought we would have. But nice shirt. We sold, I think it was a couple weeks ago, we sold some Rails jeans. I think we have another Rails top and a dress as well. Rails is one of those brands that like MSRP is really, really high on a lot of it, but it is very, very style dependent when it comes to reselling. So it's just something to think about as you're moving through and finding items like that. These Nike Cortez, we sourced these at the Goodwill literally a couple months ago. We cleaned them up a little bit. They were in really bad shape. We always do take multiple pictures to point out the shape that they're in. These finally did sell again. It took probably 2 months for them to sell. Would I pick them up again? Sure. I do plan to get more shoes in our inventory. Shoes is a great seller for us. So that is a part of my plan also to drive up the average sale price, is by getting more shoes. Next, we've got a 90s original woman floral maxi dress. We're going to throw some whimsy, golf, and boho in on this one. I don't know what either one of those words mean, but it means a sale. It means $25 to us. The dress looks nice. My wife picked this up when she was out at the bins. So our cost of goods probably would have been around $1.40 something on that haul. The Style & Co. embroidered ankle jeans. These are skinny jeans. They say don't get skinny. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Don't buy skinny jeans because they say they don't sell. This is probably the 10th pair of skinny jeans we've sold. So, I mean, to each his own, I guess. These did have the embroider around the lower part of the leg here. $17. We had these for a long time. So I think we took the offer at $17. They had been listed since at least April. These were in some of the first bins hauls that we did. Vintage 90s Russell Athletic Purdue University sweatshirt gray. It's not a what sold if Purdue, Butler, Notre Dame, or IU doesn't show up. That's who's around us. This one is nice. Like, this was a really, really nice sweatshirt. I believe that this style is going to be in for women in particular this fall and winter. Like, you're going to see a lot more either A, collegiate sweatshirt, like crew neck sweatshirts, or B, destination crew neck sweatshirts. We're picking up both and a lot of them. So be on the lookout for stuff like that because it's starting to really, really fly off of our shelves. And back to the White Sox. White Sox are winning, so are we. This is a tailgate MLB Chicago White Sox pinstripe t-shirt. She did find this at the bins as well. I want to say this was listed for 2 days and it was gone. $18. Really, really nice. Once again, the White Sox are winning and we are just going to win with them for as long as we can. The next is a Playboy hoodie. This was a size small. I think it was Roxy was the brand, or maybe it was Playboy branded. Here's the back of it here. She found these at the bins as well. It would have probably been about a month ago. I did think this was going to sell faster. And again, I assumed it would sell over on Depop, but we didn't. $25 on Poshmark. I will take it. These Lululemon men's Grid Tech golf shorts, they were only listed maybe a week and these sold. She picked these up at the bins as well. If you missed the little tags, you'll miss it with the Lululemon stuff. But this was just a nice pair of golf shorts. Like, usually if it's in good condition like these were, this type of stuff sells within a week for us. So it's something that we just continuously pick up every time. And then last but not least, the Crocs Disney Pixar Cars Lightning McQueen clogs. This sale was actually for my son-in-law. Is that who he would be? No, I'm so stupid. My stepson. These were his. I don't know where he bought them. I think he bought them secondhand as well. He listed them. He wanted us to list them. We did that for him. And they sold for $55. They were listed for a little while, and then all of a sudden they started getting a lot of attention. So we took an offer for $55. I think he had them listed at $75, and we ended up accepting a $55 offer. Or he did, rather. So yeah, that's some of the sales that we have had here over the last week and a half, something like that. Again, I hope you guys get something out of these videos. I watch a lot of these types of videos, and where I'm telling it, like, it works. Watching these what sold videos, and then you go to source your own stuff and you start to notice, oh, I seen this, or I recognize this tag. Things like that really, really has helped us. That is how we have gotten to where we're I think we're pretty good at sourcing and being able to recognize things that will sell. Again, I'm not a sell through rate kind of guy. So like, I don't comp everything. I comp very minimal, actually. Just because I have a pretty good barometer of like what is in style, what is selling, what quality looks like, what quality feels like. If you're just getting started in this, I would not advise that for you necessarily, but like, yeah. Does it look good? Does it feel good? Would you buy it for yourself? Would you buy it for someone you love? If it passes the test, it's usually a pretty good purchase for us. So listen, if you enjoy this type of content, if you're on your own reselling journey, if you just like to watch people spend and blow money, hey, we'll take it. Consider liking, subscribing, coming a part of the community over here. I'm not selling you anything, and we don't really got nothing to sell besides the stuff that we sell.